Bonjour, hello, Lakey Bloke here. Quick hi, this week's Homebrew Wednesday video is going to be me doing a Jammin Juice turbo drink. Some of you have asked to see what goes in that, so that's coming up. It's a very rough one though, guys. I did it on the quick because I decided right at the last minute I was going to make one up. So watch out for that in a second. Hopefully it'll be of some use to you. Also, at the end of this, I found a video. I did a review of a strawberry syrup drink. I'll bolt that onto the end of this. I made it a while ago, but I forgot to upload it, and I forgot I even had it. So I've just found that. So that will go on the end, which will bump up, hopefully, this week's Homebrew Wednesday video into something useful. So cheers, guys. See you later. Hey, guys. How are we doing? So here is a demijohn, of course. You've seen these before. Over in the corner there is someone's breakfast, just left on the side, just for aesthetic purposes. Obviously there's a temperature gauge on there. That's hot water in there, so it's quite high on there. Spoon, sanitised, VWP, the sanitizer. Over here I've got some Splendor. Now, it's very important, this. Some people don't like Splendor, obviously, and you know, you have to use some other sort of derivative. However, Splendor's got maltodextrin in, and maltodextrin is really handy to help improve the body of the drink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 4 teaspoons of that in the demijohn alongside the yeast nutrient and the super wine yeast compound. And over here got some brewing sugar, and I'll probably put in about 150 grams of that alongside the Jammin Juice. Now I've got 3 litres here. I've got another litre on the side, but we'll probably use the other litre to pour in after 2 or 3 days of fermentation have taken place. And last but not least, on the sanitising department, we've got our bowl full of sanitising liquid and everything that's going to come in contact with the drink. So the turkey baster, which I'm going to use to get the liquid out to take a gravity reading, and of course you know, the separate parts of the hydrometer. There's the hydrometer itself, and there's the casing, and there's a airlock, and there's a funnel, and all the other bits and pieces that are basically going to come in contact with this drink. Right, so what's next, guys? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck in 4 teaspoons of Splendor. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to chuck in 150 grams, there or thereabouts, of brewing sugar. There it goes. That's all clogged up in there because I've just washed out that funnel, obviously, and sanitised it and cleansed it. Once that sugar goes in, I'm going to chuck in the super wine yeast and the yeast nutrient. Right, guys, so we get roughly a teaspoon of this, and obviously I'm making a mess of it because I've only got one hand here. So we'll just chuck that in. A little bit more for the measure. The yeast nutrient, again, as close to a teaspoon as you can get. Roughly there or thereabouts. Okay, that's all we're going to add to this brew. That's it, nothing else. What we do now is get the funnel, put the funnel back on the top, and we pour in our juice. There we go. Now, I'm not going to film me pouring in 3 litres of juice into a demijohn because that's boring and it's hardly worth you seeing 3 litres going in. So we'll come back in just a second, guys. Right, so there's our demijohn filled with Jammin Juice. Now what I did, a slight change of plan, guys, is I put all 4 litres in there. So that's 4 litres. That headroom there is 500 millilitres. We know that because these are 4.5 litre demijohns. That'll be enough room for the yeast to work. I know for a fact the super wine yeast basically doesn't produce much of a head, and it's quite minimal. So what I might do at some point is pop to Tesco's, get another litre of Jammin Juice. I don't think I've got any lying around, and just top that up after a couple of days. But in the meantime, what we've got to do is give this a little shake, put the airlock on, and we're done. So there we have it, guys. There's the airlock on the top. There's the brew. I took a gravity reading in here earlier and it came to 1065. So there's already quite a lot of sugar in the Jammin Juice. You need to decide when you do yours whether you want to bring the gravity up by adding more sugar or not. I would suggest that you don't need to do that. There's probably enough sugar in there for you to get a decent brew out of it. But you know, it's a personal choice. I like mine a little bit stronger, and with the Splendor in there, with the maltodextrin, that will take away some of the sharpness as well. So yeah, I'm hoping it'll be a fine brew. Hello folks, hope you enjoyed that bit. Now on to the next bit. Remember, this is a video I just found lying around that I either forgot to upload or I just forgot about it. So hope you enjoy this next bit. Cheers. Bonjour, comment allez-vous, and welcome to a Lakey Bloke cider review. Now this week is going to be an interesting one because I'm actually reviewing one of my own, and it's this thing here. This you may remember in a Homebrew Wednesday video some time ago in another galaxy, in another time, in another place. I did a turbo cider using strawberry syrup. This is it. And this is a Grolsch glass, as you can see, me cheating. I'm not advertising, I don't rate Grolsch, in fact I don't even like it, over any other lager. Just had one lying around. Put some ice in it, which I don't usually do, but we're going to do it for the purposes of this particular drink. I've not had one of these yet, so this is going to be interesting. I think this is, it feels carbonated enough. It's been in the bottle for long enough for me to give it a taste test, so let's give it an open. If you can see that on there, guys, it looks like there's enough carbonation there. Let's give it a pour. Now obviously, as it's poured into the glass, because I've got ice in there, it's going to froth up initially. So there we go. Still quite cloudy, isn't it? Yeah, and it seems carbonated well enough. It's clearing up a little bit now. You can see me through it just about. Hello. We'll look a bit awkward from this angle. This is perspective, folks. This is perspective. Yeah, it's clearing up a little bit now, and I dare say if we left it a little bit longer. There we go. There it is. It's not too bad, is it? Really. So let's give it a little taste, folks, after a brief smell. Now, it smells of dry strawberry syrup. Yeah, you can smell the strawberry syrup in there. It's obviously strawberry syrup too. It doesn't just smell of strawberries. And I remember the Ribena ones I've done, and I dare say you've done them yourself. Yeah, they taste of strawberries, don't they? Well, they smell of strawberries and they taste of strawberries. This smells of strawberry syrup. So let's give it a taste. Now, this is my problem with turbo ciders, okay? I'm pretty sure I back sweetened this. Now you get an initial hit of strawberries, which is nice, and then there's that sharpness that immediately follows from a homebrew turbo cider. It's just too sharp. I don't like it, guys, sorry. I'm really disappointed. Once again, I find myself really disappointed on how these ciders are turning out. I'm not even sure I want to have another sip. Let's give it another go. Now, there is an initial whack of strawberryness, but again, it's not overpowering. It's strawberry syrupy, and it's not even as good, I would say, as the Ribena one that we did, which is a little bit disappointing because I was expecting a lot from this one, because we did throw in an entire bottle of this stuff alongside apple juice. This is going down the drain, folks. Again, really disappointed. This is not the first cider I've had to chuck. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong, but I can't seem to get rid of that sharpness, you know, that you get from a turbo cider. I don't like it. The only way I can seem to get rid of it is if I use a Safal, what am I saying Safal for? A WLP, White Labs cider yeast, a WLP 775 I think it is. Now, whenever I've done a brew with that, and I've been cultivating the yeast up using a stir plate to use in other ciders I've done, so I'd be interested to see how those come out. But the ones I have done, including a sort of Pat Max brewery cap one, have turned out really nice, and that sharpness isn't there. So I suspect it's got something to do with the yeast, the way the yeast is fermenting, because I don't get that sharpness with the White Lab cider yeast. But then it's a premium cider yeast, folks. It's about £6, and it's rather expensive. You know, £6 will do a full fermenting vessel's 23 litres worth, 40 pints. But I don't like to do too much cider in one go, because it turns out like this. It looks alright, don't taste great. There's too much sharpness in there. Yeah, this is again a disappointed me. So this is going down the sink, folks. Sorry about that. I'd like to, if you guys can look back on the strawberry cider video that I did with this particular strawberry syrup, and give me some comments, see if you think I did anything wrong. I don't think I did anything wrong. I just think it's the way that this particular cider is fermented out, and that's down to the yeast. But that sharpness is just, if I could get rid of that sharpness, I'd be a happy man, but I just can't seem to do it. The only success I've had has been really the expensive liquid yeast. So this is why I'm erring towards lagers now, and giving them a go and tweaking them a bit. The lager kits seem to come out great every time I do them. It's just no problems at all with them, and even if I just do a bog standard lager kit with no additions, they come out great. There's nothing wrong with them at all. But the turbo ciders, man, not so good. Only with the liquid yeast, it would seem. And again, I don't work for White Labs, right? I'm just telling you my experiences over the last 6 months or so with all of the different yeasts I've used. Now, I've used primarily Young's cider yeast. It's supposed to be a cider yeast, for God's sake. And it's just not coming out very nice. You know, Nottingham Ale yeast I've used. I've had some success with Nottingham ale yeast. The ale yeast tends to give off more of a sort of fruity funkiness to the cider, but there's still that slight hint of sharpness. And you know, if you can give me any hints, guys, down below in the comments below, or contact me on the Facebook group. It'd be interesting to see your view on it, see what you think. Any tips on how to get rid of that sort of sharp aftertaste? You know, it's not immediate either. This is the thing. You drink it, the flavour hits you, and you go, "Oh, this is nice." And as soon as you swallow it, there's that sharpness right at the back of it, and I can't get rid of it, and I don't like it. So this one is a big from me, I'm afraid. At least you know I'm being honest. This is my brew, guys. You know, I'm not drinking somebody else's drink and slagging it off. I'm slagging my own stuff off. So, but just because I don't like it, you might like it. There it is. Why not give it a go? See how you can get on with it. Catch the other video, guys. I'll put the link below so you can have a little look at it and see what you think. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Hello. This is the end bit, folks. I promise I'm not going to bang on. But what I will say is the Jammin Juice will probably end up around about 8.5%, which is probably going to be a bit too strong. But you know, it doesn't do us any harm to have one strong drink occasionally, and hopefully it will taste all right. The strawberry syrup juice, as you saw there, back there, was a bit of a disappointment. But we learn from these things. And certainly I've learned that if we want to get a decent fruity brew, we either use real fruit and we chuck in some pectolase to clear it, or we just basically pour the syrup in at the same time we pour our drink. The key though is to get rid of that sharpness, and the only way to do that really is to back sweeten or stop your brew early, cold crash it in the fridge. You know, that's the only way to do it, guys. I can't be bothered really, so I'm going to continue with lagers and things. I think I'll do the odd turbo cider and we'll go from there. So hopefully you found all that useful, interesting, more interesting certainly than me just sitting here banging on at you for 20 minutes or so. See you next time, folks. Don't know what the next one's going to be, so yeah, keep a lookout. Cheers, guys.